church today is we've gotten modern. Billy and I got the words mixed up. I want to welcome all of you here today. The food is ready. We're going to have a time of singing and sharing after the meal, but we invite you to go through the serving line and to help yourselves to the food that's been prepared for you. Sit where you will, and if we run out of spots at the tables, we'll put some more up. I think we've got enough seats, but if we don't, we'll hustle and get some more together. Mary Sue Harrison, that word. I can't believe you hadn't changed a bit in all these years. It's okay to say that to everybody. I haven't gained any weight and I have no wrinkles. We are you go through the line, there are 2 cookbooks on the table, and everything on the table comes out of the cookbooks. And after the meal, we're going to guess whose recipes they are. He's not only the oldest, he's the meanest, and if you don't believe it, Wim doesn't know what to do if I'm nice to him, so I always try to tease him just a little bit. Behave myself. He said that to me a lot. Beth, we welcome you. Beth, I'm so old, I remember when we kept you as a baby in the nursery along with Carver. That's old. That's really old.
She's different right now than she did when she got to my house last night at 1:30. She had no luggage. She traveled all day. I guess 24 hours.
Barchester. And I used to refer to Marge as the Bible according to Marge. And after I entered the ministry, if I ever had a question, I knew I could call Marge and she would know the answer. She taught me about Jezebel. Do y'all know who Jezebel was? Okay. The hymn, How Great Thou Art, for the first time at Epworth Church in the 60s. Andy Hancock. And Andy's daughter Susan is here.
Yeah!
Susan, we are delighted that you were here, and wish your dad could be with us. I know his health is not good.
Why were you at Epworth? And he said, well, the bishop sent me here for one reason. That was to put new life in this church. And he said, I took him literally, because my mother got pregnant with my sister, and she was born here.
We called him Father Hancock. Many years when in the 60s. Does anybody remember the song? What was it, June Joy? Christ for Me. Very good. June Joy Martin is here. She looks very much like her mother, and she brought a picture of her mother and her that's on the table back there. And I almost started crying again. I hadn't forgotten how much I loved your mother, but seeing her photograph certainly brought back many, many happy memories for all of us. And the song that I remember her singing so much was I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold, and that meant so much to her, and it meant a lot to all of us who were privileged to experience her leadership and her love in our lives. She has had a... Betty also was there on what did we do at 5:30 on Sunday afternoon?
Snack supper.
Snack suppers, and Betty always helped us with snack suppers, and I loved it because for many years we had Coke floats, and we had donuts from Krispy Kreme, and then sometimes somebody would come along with the bright idea of doing something nourishing, and we'd have hamburgers and hot dogs. I always kind of liked the Coke floats and the in mind. There are when I was in the Boy Scout troop, my mother used to fuss at me, and because I never finished the Eagle badge, and she finally said one day, I just gave up and realized the only thing you wanted to do was go be down at that damn church. So, you know, My mother kind of said things the way they were sometimes. Cindy Richardson, when Mother died, wrote me a card, and it was so sweet and probably one of the most meaningful. And she said, "Your mama was a pistol." And so she was, but she, like Elizabeth Tripp, loved to entertain our young people's groups, and I'm always grateful for her for doing that. Mary Ann's got a letter she wrote.
Last week, my grandson taught me. Attend the church reunion. Busy month with family reunions. I have so many fond memories in the single Sunday school class at worship. The church was a great blessing to us. So many of us who had no place we felt we fit in when we were divorced. However, Epworth opened its doors to us, and I cherish my friendship and other relationships I developed there. Thanks for adding to my life. My husband Larry loves to tell people we were married in a Methodist church by a Baptist preacher and a Church of God preacher. Julie Weed, W-E-D-D-E. Weddle. How? Weddle. Weddle. Okay. So anyway, she wanted everybody.
Who is still playing for services all over town. Amazing.
You know, you don't have to lick them anymore. They come through. And you don't even have to use them anymore if you know how to use a computer. And I give thanks to God for all the people that God puts in our lives. There's a wonderful song, Liza Minnelli. Bob's out in Paris and Brussels and, Rome, all the places on the Riviera, she can't find anybody. She can't meet anybody. And so finally in the song, they tell her to go to the Brodnik before she goes home to Czechoslovakia. Can you imagine? They she finds out he's from New York. And she's from New York. And they both live on Park Avenue. In an apartment building numbered 509. And he's in apartment E and she's in apartment F. And they would never have met had they not gone to the Bronx.
And so Liza begins to sing, you got to get out of the apartment and into the hall, and you got to ring those bells. Ring those bells. It's a beautiful chorus. I wish I could do it for you. You don't want me to sing and dance, but it's a beautiful, beautiful. And she says what God is saying to us. Get a little restlessness in your life. There may be something or somebody you haven't met or experienced before. There may be some faith revelation that you have yet to discover. And you need to get out of the ordinary and try to be adventuresome and go to new places and meet new people and make new friends. Let's keep moving on, folks. Let's keep growing. Let's keep meeting people. Let's be different. We had a young man in the Riverside Church one. David Cripps is probably the first minister I remember. He was there when June Martin was our director of education in Epworth, and his family had a tradition. Every time they gathered together, they sang, "Blessed be the tie that binds." I was honored when David Cripps passed away to be asked to be part of his graveside service, his funeral in Albany. Marcus was there, and we stood around when the service was over, and he had been committed to the earth. And Handy Hancock pitched the notes, and we stood and sang together, "Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts in Christian love and fellowship." It's an old, old song. I'm not forgetting the offering anthem. It's an old song. I always did. And yet there was something about it there was something about it that celebrated not only who we had been, but who we are in the future. Because wherever we go, spread out all over the world and all the places we live, there is a tie that binds us closely together. It is our love of God through Christ Jesus our Lord. And I give thanks, and I celebrate, and I rejoice. Sing with me, O Lord, a new song.
Blessed be